Hey friends, it's Stacy from the From Scratch Farmhouse, and tomorrow I'm going to be filming a morning routine video for you. And I figured since our morning routine really starts with getting to bed on time and getting a good night's sleep, I would start here. The idea behind this video is to help show you how we balance homeschooling with homesteading, with working from home and multiple children, since this is one of the most common questions that I get asked. Our morning routine is really at the core of how we balance all the things. But since I think it's most helpful for you to see multiple morning routines so that you can pick and choose and craft a routine that's best for your family, I teamed up with some friends here on YouTube so that you can see their morning routines as well. So you might be already following some of these ladies, but it's Kate from Venison for Dinner, Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead, and Bri from Scratch, and I'll put their channels in the description. And then as soon as their videos are out, I will link those in the description as well. If you're new here, I'm Stacy, homeschooling and homesteading mama of 7, on a mission to ditch the grocery store and become more self-sufficient. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about our journey and how we are making that dream come true. Okay, step 1 of a good morning is getting enough sleep, which I honestly really struggle with because I'm a night owl. Between 8 and midnight is when I get the most work done because all of my kids are asleep and the house is quiet. I've tried to get to sleep earlier and then try waking up earlier to get work done in the morning before my kids wake up, but honestly, my brain just doesn't function that early in the morning. So I've learned as I've gotten older to stop fighting my nature and any guilt I've held onto for not being one of those moms that wakes up at 4 a.m. to go for a run. Frankly, I've tried it. I've also wrecked my body with sleep deprivation, and I've come to appreciate how getting sleep at whatever hours my body is able is the best schedule for me. And that if I don't get that sleep, I'm not a nice mom or wife, and my body starts to retaliate. So with all of that said, I will not be setting an alarm. I wake up when my husband is getting ready around 6:30, and if I'm feeling up to it, I grab my computer and get all of my daily business tasks done. So checking emails and DMs, things like that. And then I might work on writing a blog post or some other writing project. On days where I need more sleep though, I will sleep until 7 when my oldest leaves for her school and push out those work tasks until lunch. I will say that I have some work projects coming up that may make me try to start working at 6, but even in this situation where it would be really helpful to squeeze in more hours into my day, I know that my health has to come first. So if it doesn't work, I'll just have to find that time elsewhere. And yes, my 4-year-old still sleeps in my bed. Add it to the list of things I said I'd never do. We do plan to transition her to her own room soon, but honestly, I don't feel any rush to do this. This morning, I also need to let our mom cats out of the mudroom to go to the bathroom. We do not usually have animals indoors, but long story short, these moms both birthed at the same time last Thursday, and when we found them, 5 of the kittens were dead. We weren't sure what had happened, but knew that there was a big snowstorm coming that night, so we went ahead and brought them in. The other issue was that we didn't know which kitten belonged to who, but after trying to split them up and divvy out the kittens, they were clearly upset. So we promptly put them back together, and now they're happily co-parenting these 6 remaining kittens. We're wondering if this white one is actually albino, so I'm very anxious to see what it looks like as it gets older and its eyes open. At 7 a.m., my kids wake up. We didn't used to have alarm clocks, and my boys still really don't need it because they're definitely morning people, but my girls are more like me and have been getting more difficult to wake, so we did start this week setting alarm clocks and also a deadline of when they need to be at their desks ready for school. And the reason I've become more strict about this is that our days were getting away from us, and we were really struggling to fit in all that we needed to accomplish. And I also think that the ability to wake up, get ready, and show up somewhere by a certain time is a life skill that I want to instill in my kids. 7 a.m. is also milking time when we're milking twice a day. We just switched over to a once-a-day schedule, so this won't be part of our morning routine again until late summer when our milk cow calves. My big kids have a checklist of everything they need to accomplish each morning, and then they have to initial that they did it. I've had many slightly different systems for basically accomplishing the same thing, which you've probably seen if you've been around here for a while. But I'm excited about this one because I feel like initialing is a way to basically ask each child, are you sure that you did that thing? Because as we have explained to them, an initial next to a chore is a promise that it's been complete. So if they initial and it didn't actually get done, then that's a lie. And I still try to check and make sure that the things are getting done, but this is just one more way for me to help hold all 5 of the older kids accountable for everything on their list every day. Their morning chores include emptying the dishwashers, cleaning up breakfast, and switching the laundry, which was started by me the night before and then set on delay end to make sure it's done and ready to switch the next morning. And then on my list in the morning is to go down and start load number 2 for the day. With my youngest 2, who are 4 and 6, I'm using my card system that I've used and loved for many years. Basically, they have a set of cards on a ring that they have to work through each day. They just flip to the next one and go do it. The stickers on the back help remind them which cards are for which times of the day, so right now they are working through their morning cards. A little side note, I've had people ask me if they could buy these chore cards, so I'm having a talented friend draw up some cuter photos for each task, and then when those are ready, I'll link those chore cards for you to purchase in the description. While my kids are going about their morning tasks, I'm getting ready for the day until about 7:30, and then I do what I call my kitchen power hour from 7:30 to 8:30. This is when I make all of our food for the day. I start my sourdough bread if that needs to be done. I grab my bin of pre-prepped ingredients out of the pantry and get dinner going, either putting it in the slow cooker or prepping everything so that it just needs popped in the oven later that day. And I've actually rewritten all of my recipes to accommodate this schedule. I also make lunch for the day, which is generally the same thing each week. And then if there are leftovers, we may do that instead, but honestly, leftovers are rare in our home. At 8:30, I'm finishing up my kitchen power hour, and because it is Tuesday, the kids are supposed to be at their desks. We do a pretty intensive school schedule on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. This frees up our Wednesdays and Fridays to really live more of the homeschool life we felt like we were missing out on in previous years. Wednesdays are fun days, so on those days the kids go to their desks at 8:30 where they do their math. Then we head out on some sort of adventure or to the mountain to go skiing in the winter months. Fridays, we don't do any school at home, but instead load up at 8:30 to head out to our Homeschool CoOp group. Upstairs, we have what we call our schoolroom, and this is where my boys have desks and my little ones have a table. My girls' rooms are then right off of this room, so they have their desks in their rooms, and then I can just go back and forth as needed. From 8:30 to 10 on our long school days, everyone does handwriting, grammar, math, and typing, and the younger kids also do their language arts. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that we tried switching this schedule around a bit and doing our group studies in the morning, but that did not work. I found that my kids really struggle with math later in the day, but do just fine with holding that focus in the morning, so back to this original schedule we went. At 10, we all head downstairs to the dining room for my kids' favorite part of the day, World Watch News. World Watch is a Christian worldview-based news program for kids that reports on both important current events and other more random but educational news stories from around the world. I love how it does an awesome job of making our family aware of what's going on in the world without being depressing or anxiety-provoking. My kids then have to write in their news journal a few things that they learned about. My younger kids use this time to practice writing their name and just a few words that they heard that I then write down for them and then they copy. From about 10:30 to 11, we do all about spelling, which is a new curriculum for us, and maybe I'll go into depth about why we stopped using the good and the beautiful language arts for my older kids in a future video. But I will say that in regards to spelling, they really needed to go back and learn foundational teachings to improve their spelling, and I'm really excited about the improvements and light bulb moments I've witnessed since starting this curriculum. In fact, there have been many rules and such that I'm just now learning as an adult that I wish I would have known. I'm not naturally a great speller, and my hope is that this program will help all of us improve in that area. Then from 11 to 12, we do IEW, which is Institute for Excellence in Writing. My oldest does his own level upstairs with headphones, and the next 4 kids down do theirs at the dining table. This is our second year doing this writing program, and not only is it a really solid writing program, my kids also enjoy it. They think the teacher is funny, and no one is left feeling overwhelmed. This hour is also my chance to work on reading with my youngest 2 kiddos. We use All About Reading, which is a program we have used for years and absolutely love. Alright, it's now noon, which is our 1-hour lunch break. The kids will eat lunch and go outside to play and get some fresh air. During the winter, they love to go ski and play in the snow, and this is my time to make myself my daily protein smoothie and get some work done. If I didn't get to emails and those basics in the morning, I start with those tasks. Then I tackle that day's to-do list. I use a free program called Trello to keep all of my to-do lists organized. I have a few different business ventures online, so every day looks different, but today I'm finishing up the spring meal plan for my membership. And that wraps up my morning routine. After lunch break, I will call the kids back in for a few more hours of group studies or family projects. Some days that looks like doing history or playing an educational game. Today we're planting onions and then working on a group writing project. If you're curious how we plant onions, I will leave a link below to a video that shows that process. I will say that not every morning goes according to this plan. Sometimes appointments or illness will test our ability to be flexible. But I found that sticking to our morning routine means less chaos and more productive and enjoyable days. So I've tried to be more intentional about protecting these morning hours. Okay friends, thank you for coming along with me this morning. Don't forget to go check out the morning routine videos from my friends Kate, Jessica, and Bri, and I'll put those links in the description. See you next week.
Hit that! Whoa!
That thing's the best. I'm gonna hit this thing.